Zdaj pa v luči te jezikovne korektnosti, ki smo jo omenili v povezavi z zakonom o visokem šolstvu, bomo malo kršili pravila, ker imamo dva tuja strokovnjaka z izkušnjami iz tujine in bom jaz preklopila v angleški jezik, zato da boste ona dva razumela, ne dvomim, upam pa, da boste seveda tudi vsi vi in prevajanje v tem primeru ne bo zagotovljeno. So, the upcoming panel will be conducted in English language and it will feature two distinguished international speakers, each offering a unique perspective on our event's topic. To begin, each speaker will present an insightful 8-minute talk, which will be followed by an engaging discussion. It is my pleasure now to introduce our first speaker, Mrs. Soazig Drevillon, from the Université des métiers du nucléaire, University of Nuclear Skills, where she oversees higher education and European relations. Ms. Drevillon, the floor is yours.
Just a minute.
Yeah.
Yes. I think it's now okay.
Hello. Yeah. So thank you very much for the invitation. I'm very pleased to be with you today. So I'm Soazig Drevillon and I work at University for Nuclear Skills in France, and I am also working at EDF. So maybe we can start the presentation.
Would you like to have it the pointer yourself,
Yes.
Drevillon?
Thank you. So I am also a member of the skills working group at the European Industrial Alliance for SMRs, so working with some of your colleagues. So I will present you the French national context first, and then I will present you the French nuclear skills roadmap. So French national context, so in France we have we operate 57 reactors, all operated by EDF. 95% of our electricity is low carbon electricity, so 70% coming from nuclear energy and 25% from renewable energy. So it's about 500 core companies working for the nuclear industry. So EDF is a main actor, but we have a lot more. And the French nuclear, the University for Nuclear Skills is working for the whole nuclear industry. So it represents more than 200,000 jobs, so more about 220,000 jobs, and 50 billion euros of revenue. So this is the value chain that we have in France. So we have a sovereign sector and we are present on the whole value chain of the nuclear. So from R&D to decommissioning and dismantling. And in the middle, we have the EDF, which is the operator of the 57 nuclear power plants, but also constructor and developer. So in France, since a few years, we have relaunched a lot of nuclear projects. We have had the decision of our President Macron in 2022 to build 6 new EPRs, so 6 large nuclear power plants. So it's actually 3 pairs and 2 are already on construction in Normandy, the northwest of France. Then we will have maybe 8 more EPR2. This is under the process of decision. And we are also working on the life extension of the existing nuclear power plant fleet. We are working on SMR, small modular reactor, and advanced modular reactor also. And we have a lot of projects of the supply chain, so extension of capacity, and also the fuel cycle management, extension of capacity. So, as I mentioned earlier, so the French nuclear industry in France, it's 220,000 jobs currently. So 500 core companies, but if we count all the companies working for the nuclear sector, we have more than 3,000 companies. And the GIFEN, which is the group of the nuclear companies, so it's a syndicate of nuclear companies in France, has conducted a study, a program, which is a match program to assess the resource needed for the projects that are going on in France and future projects. So the conclusion of the match program was that we need to recruit 100,000 new people in the 10 coming years. So meaning it's 10,000 recruitment per year for the French nuclear industry. On this 100,000 jobs for the 10 coming years, 1/3 is operator jobs, 1/3 is technician jobs, and 1/3 is engineering jobs. So we cover the whole industry, all different level of qualification, and we identify on a bench of 100 roles, 20 roles are particularly in tension, meaning that we anticipate competency shortage already. And this is from operation to maintenance, going through construction and engineering roles. So it's a large bench of roles that we need to really work at and to focus on our skills nuclear roadmap. So then in 2021, the University for Nuclear Skills has been created. This is not a university, actually, it's an association, and we are the bridge between the nuclear industry and the stakeholder of training and education and employment. So this has been this association has been built on the initiative of the nuclear companies. So you have all the funding members at the bottom of the page. So we work with the GIFEN, EDF, CEA, and so on, all the major actors of the nuclear industry in France. So our mission is to build a national strategy, but also to have very local actions. So we have correspondents in each region of France where the nuclear industry is present to make the link between the nuclear industry needs and the education and training actors and employment actors as well, to make sure that the education offer is visible and visible, to make sure also that it is aligned with industry needs, and also we work on attractiveness. So in 2023, as a response of the match program from the GIFEN, we submitted the French nuclear skills roadmap to the government, which is very supportive to deploy. So this French nuclear skills, so this is our team. So we have a national team and regional teams, meaning that we have correspondents in all the regions of France. So the French nuclear skills roadmap is built around 30 actions, around 7 levels, and actually 3 pillars: the attractiveness, adaptation of education and training, and recruitment. So we need also, on the 3rd pillar, to help companies to integrate all those newcomers for the 10 coming years. So out of the 30 actions that are in this national nuclear skills roadmap, I will just illustrate with 2 actions that are, I would say, important action for us. So we developed a portal for the nuclear industry with all the training and education programs that leads towards jobs within the nuclear industry. So we have more than 300 trainings, and you have the job description, and then all the trainings that can lead to this kind of jobs. So you can find videos. It's a very dynamic portal. You have also on this portal all the jobs for the nuclear industry in France. So currently we have 7,000 jobs opening on this website, and job seekers and students can directly apply on this portal. We have also internships and apprenticeships offer, and we just launched a CV library, which is a software that put directly into contact recruiters with students or job seekers that put their CV online. A second action that we developed and was quite a success is a nuclear passport. So for all the trainings that are general training specialized in science or in techniques, so STEM training, we propose a nuclear passport. So it's 20 hours to 100 hours of nuclear basic knowledge. So we train the students on what is radioactivity, what is how function a nuclear power plant, what is fuel cycle management. So all the nuclear activities. We also developed e-learnings in French or in English. We provide site visits and internships and apprenticeships. And at the end of this program, the students receive, on top of their diploma, what we call a nuclear passport, which is a certification that they can brand in their CV. And then the nuclear industry is also aware of this passport, and they can target easily the students that already have this foundation of nuclear knowledge. And this is all the institution where we develop the nuclear passport. So today we have already 3,000 students involved in those kind of programs. So we work with high school. We have different levels of nuclear passport. It started in high school, and it can go up to university or engineering school. So thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Ms. Drevillon, for this insightful presentation. And I'm sure we will have some questions afterwards. But next, I'm honored to welcome our second guest speaker, Mr. Rafael Marin, Senior Program Manager at Holtec Europe. Mr. Marin, the floor is yours.
Thank you. And good morning, everyone. First of all, I want to thank the organizers for the opportunity to participate here today in this event. It's a true pleasure. So before going and continuing to the specifics of manufacturing and workforce supply chain development, please allow me to briefly introduce Holtec SMR 300 technology. This will help us to later understand our approach to supply chains and manufacturing. So right after the Fukushima event, our founder and current CEO, Dr. Singh, while probably in all the nuclear power plants we're thinking about that Fukushima event could be the end of the nuclear industry, he said we need to commit in front of the industry to develop a Fukushima reactor. And that's when we started developing the SMR300. So the SMR300, its reactor can provide 320 megawatts electric net, but in dual configuration, in dual unit nuclear power plant configuration, it's 640 megawatts electric net, which is an important. It's based on proven light water reactor technology, is pressurized water reactor technology. So we decided to go for this technology because, of course, the properties of the water, coolant, moderator, and so on, we need all the properties to the T. Also, the fuel is really commercially available. We are using 17 by 17 fuel assembly. So it's also an important piece. The fuel is really available there. It's a low licensing risk reactor because the regulators are familiar with the PWR licensing basis and technology. The licensing basis is in place. So all of that, as I said, makes the SMR300 a low licensing risk technology. Also, we have for PWR technology a robust supply chain in place, which is an important piece. And apart from that, we have the industry expertise for PWRs. And also the knowledge. Of course, as we have been discussing today, we are struggling in the nuclear industry to attract talent, to attract new employees, even from the universities. But at the end, PWR technology and knowledge is still there. Also, it's the most widely accepted technology in the world if you compare with boiling and other technologies. So the SMR300 is mature. We have been developing the reactors, I said, for more than 10 years, investing at this point hundreds of $millions. It's a walk-away safe reactor. It's, as I mentioned, Fukushima proof, so you don't need off-site power or water to safely shut down. And also you don't require any initial action from the operator to deal with any design basis accident. Also, it's totally passive. You don't have any active system performing any safety-related function. It's flexible in operation because also you have wet and dry cooling options for the SMR300 for water-restringent areas. All safety systems in this reactor and the spent fuel pool are inside the containment, so it's a highly secure reactor. It's simplified because we simplified the number of safety and seismic class systems, and also we reduced the staffing requirements. And we incorporate the lessons learned from the industry. From licensing and many other aspects. We have a senior reactor operator crew providing design inputs and design review for the team. And finally, it's economical. It's the highest power density of any light reactor, SMR reactor, I mean, in development, which translate to cost effectiveness. At Holtec, we are very proud of our partners for the delivery team of the SMR300. First of all, Holtec will be the provider of the NSSS systems, manufacturing the mechanical equipment. And also, we have Hyundai Engineering and Construction. We are very proud of having Hyundai in our team. They are developing the detailed design for the balance of plant. They will perform the construction and also the commissioning of the plant. Of course, with local partners, because you need deep involvement of local partners in your deployment to ensure successful deployment in a given country. As a reference, Hyundai has been constructing nuclear power plants from the 70s. with no interruption. They have constructed 18 plants in Korea, and more recently, the units at Baraka 1 to 4 in the United Arab Emirates. Also, they were selected to construct the AP1000 units in Bulgaria. Also, we have Mitsubishi Electric investing their own resources and funds in our program. They are providing the MELTAC control system, and also they are providing licensing support. Just as a reference, the MELTAC control system is accepted by the US NRC and is proven and in use in Japan and in China. And finally, we have Framatome as a proven fuel supplier providing the Gaia fuel for the SMR300. They are providing this fuel design and also the license support needed for the program. And as I mentioned, it's a standard 17 by 17 fuel assembly, PWR fuel assembly. At Holtec, we have a target that we launched in a recent ceremony at Palisade site, which is our first of a kind site for the SMR300, which is based on an expanded alliance with Hyundai Engineering and Construction, and the goal is to build 10 gigawatt fleet of SMR300 by 2040, mainly in the US, across North America. As I mentioned, at Palisade site, we will have the first of a kind for the SMR300. The Palisade site is owned by Holtec entirely. We are the licensee there. This comes from our dismantling and decommissioning business. We acquired the site through that business unit. And essentially, we have no longer plans to decommission the site. We receive strong support from the communities, strong support from the state, also strong support from the country, from the US, to restart the current Palisades plant. It's an 800 megawatt plant, pressurized reactor. So we are restarting that plant there. And there we will collocate a dual unit of SMR300. This will be, again, the first of a kind. So essentially, this is a real project. This will be the first SMR to be deployed and in operation in the US. And this first-of-a-kind project provides the opportunity for other countries internationally to follow a real project with maybe 2 to 3 year gap. Also for the regulator to work with the NRC with that gap and starting preparing all the deployment through a real project. Just some dates, we have been clearing the trees, we have been clearing and preparing the site during last year. Just to mention that the submittal of the construction permit application for Palisades will be by June 2026. We will start the nuclear island construction activities in June 2027. The operating license application will be submitted in 2028. And the dates for a start of commercial operation will be end of 2030 in Unit 1 and mid-2031 Unit 2. So as we did here, for example, for the dry storage project at Krško, we envisioned that here in Slovenia, we will work with our partners in consortium, combined with local partners, to ensure successful deployment of the potential SMR300 project, as we did with our previous major projects here in the country. And just finally, to show what our approach is for the SMR300, we based our approach in 3 different, let's say, aspects, which comes from, let's say, typical nuclear industry problems. First of all, is the high cost and of course overcost that we have been experiencing in previous projects. So we have a cost plus mentality. We are focused on delivering projects on time and on budget. And also we have as a team a culture of global turnkey fixed project delivery, and as I mentioned, really important, on time and on budget. The second one is that the large reactors, the current design, some of them have been or had become too complex. So what we did with the SMR 300 design is to try to reinvent the technology, the PWR, simplifying at the core the reactor. And the third one is that we have a unique delivery team. We can provide full EPC scope of work, and from that point adapt to the different client specifics. The other key feature is that Holtec is one of the biggest nuclear capital equipment manufacturers and exporters. So we have manufacturing experience, we have manufacturing capabilities, and we are putting all that experience also in our design. We are not a paper company, we are not a startup, and in some of the designs we see when you don't build things, it's difficult to design things that can be built. So essentially, we are putting all of this is a key differentiator for Holtec, and we are trying to put all this design into a real project as we did with our technology across the years. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Marin, and may I invite you to the floor now, and Ms. Drevillon as well. Thank you so much. We have some 10 minutes left for a short round of discussion and maybe open question also to the audience. So first, you mentioned, Ms. Drevillon, the MATCH program. It was launched a few years ago to address the workforce shortages in the French nuclear sector, aiming for 10,000 new recruits per year in critical roles. So given the scale of this initiative, I'm just interested in what measurable results have been achieved so far, and if any corrective measures perhaps have been necessary throughout the years.
Yes. Thank you for the question. So yes, the MATCH project has been launched in 2023 to assess the needs of the nuclear industry in terms of workforce, but also capacity. It's updated every year. The needs are updated, and the action plan is also moving with every update. So in 2024, the recruitments in France for the nuclear industry were out of 6,000. So we didn't reach the 10,000 jobs because there were some delay in the recruitment because of some project delays and financing delays. So it's just a postponement of some recruitments, but we measure every year the number of recruitments regarding the needs. So GIFEN is working now on a new platform, which is a Carto platform, to make sure that all the companies of the nuclear industry can directly give their data, and particularly the recruitment data and gender data and all detailed data that are needed to monitor the progress of the action plan. And it will be even easier for us to get those current data to adapt the nuclear skills action plan.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Is there any question from the audience? To open the floor, perhaps? Oh, yes, Dr. Karin.
It slipped my mind, actually, because French nuclear program started, let's say, 50s, 60s, and so on and so forth. And it was very extensive, very advanced, and so on. Why now? Why? Because most of the nuclear power plants that you have are already built. So why decide to establish such an association for education of additional workforce now? Why not 20 years ago, 10 years ago, 30 years ago? What was the prime motivation? Shortage of people, do people go and try to get different skills, and that's why again you try to motivate them to go into the nuclear sector. So what was the turning point to do this establishment?
Yes, we built our fleet a long time ago. The last one, the new one, is a Flamanville, which was finally finished last year. But the rest of the fleet has been built 40 years to 20 years ago. So the competencies are now lacking. People went into retirement, and there was a gap of construction skills. So we anticipate a shortage of construction skills for the programs that we have to build the 6 new EPRs and maybe 8 more afterwards. So we need to relaunch and to make sure that the workforce is ready again to build a series of reactors. That's the launch of this nuclear skills roadmap and this UMN association.
It was a clear signal from top down. Mr. Marin, you mentioned this rapidly advancing SMR 300 program with strong support from different groups of stakeholders. So I'm wondering what key lessons has Holtec Europe, or Holtec in general, Holtec learned in overcoming these workforce shortages and supply chain bottlenecks as well?
Thank you. Yeah, essentially, we are still deploying some of these measures, but regarding workforce development, since we are restarting the Palisades plant, we are establishing there a comprehensive reactor training program on one side. So we feature a full scope SMR 300 simulator within the program. But we have, let's say, the basis coming from the Palisades restart. Of course, this is a key feature to prepare the highly skilled workforce that we will need. Apart from that, we are working, for example, on different tools. We have the educational simulator, which we offer to universities and educational entities to help essentially a country or a utility to establish a nuclear training program to build competencies for the future workforce and the future generations. It's different than the full scope. It's aimed to be compute-based simulator, but we believe that this is a powerful tool to develop, for example, the workforce and knowledge. Also, Holtec has been participating in with different universities, mainly in Pennsylvania, New Jersey area, but all across the US, in job fairs, deeply engaging with universities, essentially to attract talent. The core business of Holtec is the technology, are the patents, and one of the key points is our workforce. We have a lot of PhDs, a lot of masters, and this is something that we need to keep moving forward, continue attracting talent to ensure essentially sustainability of our company. Also, we have been seeing some, let's say, some trends in different countries because, of course, our company is international, but some of the engineers now are being, let's say, redirected to the financial sector or consultancy services, so not purely engineering. So this is something that we are seeing. We are expanding, for example, our local offices and operations centers to overcome that because it's not the same in all the countries, but we are working around that because we see a clear trend. And also we have initiatives to train blue collars. We have been let's say, training welders, for example, at the New Jersey Advanced Manufacturing Facility, because as well as the engineers is the workforce that you will need essentially for welding.
Yeah, thank you so much. I see a hand in the audience. And we have like 3 or 4 minutes for this last round of questions. Yeah.
Franz Bogovic, I was mayor here and I was also a member of European Parliament, and I wrote this report on SMR in European Parliament. And here when I see American company, you mentioned Koreans, you mentioned France, EDF, European company. And in this report we also spoke a lot about nuclear Airbus, which we need if we want to build this new fleet of nuclears which we need. And my question goes in this direction. Do you think about, as we see you cooperate, and what are the opportunities, challenges for a country like Slovenia? Because sometimes I see that we just think about Unit 2 in Krško, but we don't see this big scale and opportunities all around the world, and how you see the involvement of these companies, and especially a question for Holtec. You have experience with our company, local companies, and what are these experiences?
Thank you for the question. Maybe a quick 1 minute feedback from each of you, if possible.
Yeah, so first of all, I will try to keep it short, okay? Because I agree that there are many opportunities, and as I said during my presentation, we envision, for example, here for Slovenia, the same approach that we did for the dry storage project, to cooperate with local partners through, of course, our consortium, because they have experience on how to construct a nuclear power plant, but local partners, local construction companies, all type of companies from here will be key. We cannot essentially develop successfully an SMR 300 without them. And again, we have the experience working here, and we want to replicate the same success for the major projects that we will have with SMR 300. A key opportunity will be, on one side, the supply chain. We keep an approved vendor list, and we are cooperating with many companies all across the world to ensure a robust supply chain. We basically audit them, qualified them in advance. We identify potential suppliers for the different pieces of equipment, so that's one thing. Also, we are expanding our manufacturing facilities, so not only partners, because we see a potential big demand or high demand in the SMR 300, so we need to be ready. We are, again, approaching to vendors for the NSSS supply, and localization potential is there. Of course, we envision at Holtec that we will need Holtec Heavy Industries regional hubs. Of course, this will be driven by the demand. I'm not speaking to a specific country, but potentially in a regional approach. So this is something that we're working on. So based on our experience here, this is how we envision that we will have a path for success.
Thank you so much. Ms. Drevillon, a few words on the collaboration?
Yes, in terms of workforce, so I presented you the French nuclear roadmap, but we also, UMN is working also with our European partner. We are working on European projects to develop the nuclear workforce in Europe, so through the SMR European Alliance, but not only, there are also there is a big project launched by Euratom, Skills for Nuclear, with 18 partners of other member states. So we are really keen to cooperate with our partners. We are also developing some partnership with Morocco or Canada, people that are interested in developing nuclear in their country. So I think we really need to collaborate, because the workforce is not only in our own country, it's everywhere, and we need to work together on it, and with Slovenia, of course, as well.
Thank you. Thank you so much to both of you.